Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and in this video we are giving you guys a glitched Ben Simmons build in the small forward position. If you guys don't know what I mean by glitched build, in my team they have these cards that are considered, well, glitched. They are, supposed to be versions of these players where, yes, they are kind of like the normal self, but they have, just one little quirk about them that is usually not the greatest, and then just making it to where they're actually pretty damn good in that, in that scenario. So for an example, Dikembe Mutombo might have a glitch card where he has really good shooting, which he actually does on his glitch version. And, somebody else might have, like really good defense, or, a big man might have really good playmaking, for an example. But there usually is versions of these players that are, that have some things that are bad about them and turning them into really, really good things. So, making it where they are glitched. Now, for this version of Ben Simmons, though, as you can see, we do have glitched pretty much everything, because obviously Ben Simmons right now is not as good as his prime. But obviously we're basing this off of his prime version anyway, where he is going to be pretty good at driving and getting to the basket. He's going to be, pretty good at, utilizing his height and, the mismatches pretty well. But he's going to be really, really great at shooting, man. He's going to be a god at shooting. He's not that guy to take three-point shots and make them consistently. We all know the story of Ben Simmons. Watching him from his rookie season all the way up until now, we know he ain't going to shoot that three ball. But jokes aside, though, having Ben Simmons with a higher three-point rating and then a really, really high mid-range, I feel like is a good enough reason to call this a glitched build, because I wanted to make a Ben Simmons build, but I wanted to make a Ben Simmons build like the original version that I made a while ago. So for all the new people that have joined the channel, definitely recommend go ahead and checking out the original version of this idea that came to fruition a while ago, a long time ago in this game cycle, where I said, what if I gave Ben Simmons a jump shot rating? So practically giving him like a better 3-point rating pretty much. But this is kind of like the overarching idea of the glitched build, and, kind of like the final version, a final idea that I had for the Ben Simmons build. So 6'10 small forward, though. Let's go through all the stats and everything. Let's talk about it. The 77 close shot, 85 driving layup, 85 driving dunk, 75 standing dunk, and a 79 post control. Well, everybody knows that the driving dunk and the driving layup are like this because obviously we said it, he's really good at getting to the rim. So even though he's a 6'10 small forward, or, technically in the game and, in real life, he's been either like a point guard or power forward, but I felt like small forward just made a little bit more sense, considering that you are going to be practically a point forward. So making this as a 3, also for the reason of making it into 3 is just so you can get, more and better stats all around, because of, the weight distribution on some things is different from position to position. So obviously making it small forward made it to where we can get some of these stats, easily. So, and it's definitely way better than making it as a power forward, where it's going to be a little bit more tricky to get all these stats exactly how you want them to be. So with the driving layup being an 85, that's pretty good. We get that layup mixed master on silver, which is pretty good. We also have float game on silver. We have gold aerial wizard. And we also have silver physical finisher. Pretty good stuff there. Now, what else we have here is an 85 driving dunk. Gives us the ability to be able to get some good dunk animations, get some contact dunks going as well. We're not going to have the contact dunk packages, at least not until we get 2 cap breakers and get that posterizer on silver. And then we can start getting those contact dunk packages to be able to get legitimate contact dunk animations, which is going to be pretty good. So you get that posterizer on silver if you use 2 caps on it. That's the only reason why I did it like this, is so you can utilize those 2 caps. And, because we utilize those 2 attributes elsewhere, and obviously a lot of these attributes are pretty specific breakpoints. So I'll talk about all those when we get to it. The only one that really isn't a specific breakpoint is the standing dunk. I had it set at a 75. You can easily drop it down to a 72 if you really, really want to, because 72 is what you need for rise up. So you can easily just turn that 75 standing dunk into the 87 driving dunk to save you some some caps if you really want to. That's like totally an option. But I just felt like for, you know, whatever, 75 was going to be pretty good for some, you know, standing dunk animations. But you can easily do this. It's whatever. But we have the standing dunk practically giving us the rise up badge on bronze, which is pretty good stuff there. We're not able to get it on silver regardless. So I feel like it's pretty solid. And then we have Gold Aerial Wizard, which is, you know, also pretty solid here. And then post control being a 79 gives us the ability to bully smaller guards, smaller wings. So we happen to be going against, we're not going to have, you know, post powerhouse really any higher than what it is right now, unless, you know, you mess around with the stats, especially like the driving dunk. And then instead of just putting those stats into your driving dunk, then you just put it into your strength and then give you the ability to use some cap breakers and so on and so forth. But there are some other, you know, of these badges that you can upgrade by using caps, like, you know, physical finisher, which we'll talk more about that here in a second. But we keep it at 73 just for the sake of strong handle. But if we just go back up here and just keep it how we had it with the original 72 standing dunk and 87 driving dunk instead of the 85 75. But the 79 post control, though, we are able to get some pretty cool stuff here. I mean, the post up poet being silver is pretty nice against the smaller guards. We have post powerhouse on bronze, which, like I mentioned before, if you manage to mess around with some of the stats and then get that up to where you can eventually use caps to get to the 79 strength to get that on silver, that would be pretty solid. But post fade phenom is on gold. You're able to get that on Hall of Fame if you use all 5 caps on your post control and then using 3 caps on your mid range, which I plan on using 4 caps on mid range anyway. We'll talk more about that in a second. But post up poet on gold, or post fade phenom, if I can even speak, post fade phenom on gold is really, really good. Can be upgraded to Hall of Fame. Then we have unpluckable, not really able to be upgraded at all for either version. Either post control or the ball handling, unless you upgrade the post control a little bit. Like if you do this, then you're able to do that. But obviously, when you have like the standing dunk or driving dunk with those attributes, then it's whatever. And then hook specialist, you're not able to get it on gold. You could get the post control, but you're not able to get the close shot force. So that's very, very unfortunate. But it's on silver at least. Mid-range being an 87, three-pointer being a 75, and a 79 free throw rating. I feel like it's pretty good, man. That's pretty damn solid. The 87 mid-range giving us the ability to have that shifty shooter on silver pretty much out of the gate. But then we also have the ability to get it to a 91, as you can see here with the max potential being a 91, because we have a 7-foot wingspan. So we're able to use all 4 caps to get to a 91 on our mid-range to get gold shifty shooter. But then on top of that, we use 2 cap breakers to get to an 89 on our mid-range to get gold set shot specialist. And then we talked about it. We use 3 caps to get to a 90 on our mid-range. We can get that post-fade phenom to Hall of Fame if you really wanted to do that. But Deadeye, we're not able to get upgraded at all. So Deadeye is the only badge here for shooting, at least, you know, from the mid-range standpoint, that we're not able to really get upgraded. So if we had our wingspan down to like a 6'11", then we would be able to. And then you would have to use all 5 caps for that. But the 75 3-point rating is the same scenario as limitless range. For our 3-point rating stuff, we're not able to get limitless range on bronze. So that's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Free throw, 79, pretty solid stuff there. For playmaking, though, we do have an 89 pass accuracy, 75 ball handle, and 68 speed of ball, which is pretty good for a 6'10" player that we have here. But we know that Ben Simmons was a really good passer. And for the most part, he really was like considered like a playmaker, like a point forward kind of player. So, I mean, it makes sense that we gave him a really good pass accuracy. And then having 75 ball handle, I felt like was pretty solid. I just wish I was able to get a higher ball handling, for him, because it would make more sense if we were able to get a higher ball handling. But We have 68 speed with ball as well, which, you know, obviously for the most part is the highest that we can get it to, obviously without capping out at the 69 rating. Nice. With the weight and height and everything that we have here. But we do have that lightning launch on bronze. I wanted to at least have that, man, so we have that now. So the 89 pass accuracy, though, really good. You can get Tyrese Halliburton pass style, which is, you know, one of the best in the game, has been for the last couple of years. But bailout on bronze, break starter on gold, versatile visionary on silver, and then dimer on gold. But of course, with dimer, use 3 caps. You can get dimer in Hall of Fame. Versatile visionary, you cannot get upgraded. Break starter, however, you use 4 caps to get to a 93. You can get that upgraded. And then bailout, you use 2 caps, and then you can get that upgraded. So you can get silver bailout, Hall of Fame break starter, and Hall of Fame dimer if you so choose to do 4 caps. You don't need to use all 5, but if you use 4 caps, because you're not able to get, don't know why I did that, but that's the reason why we're not able to get versatile visionary, because you need 95, but if you use all 5, you're only getting to a 94. So yeah, it's one of those scenarios there. But the ball handling being a 75 does not give us the ability to get unpluckable even with our caps. But Snoops, 75 plus 5 is 80. Unfortunately, we only get to a 78 ball handling as our max potential, so we're not able to get it. Not able to, unfortunately. But yeah, it is very unfortunate that, you know, even though we could potentially get to an 80 ball handling with caps on our, you know, on this build, like, we're just not able to get it because of the 78 potential. But we also have ankle assassin that we're not able to get upgraded. It's on bronze though. And we're not able to get handles for days upgraded. It is on bronze though. But strong handle, however, we're not able to get it upgraded because of strength. But hey, we could get the 77 ball handling. So there's like only a way potentially to, you know, like maybe if you just didn't care about the post control, you can drop the post control down. You can drop the driving dunk down to like an 85, drop the standing dunk down maybe. Do something or whatever the fuck, or you just don't care about rebounding and you try to drop your rebounding for the sake of your strength, whatever the case may be, to find a way to get some better strength and then be able to get it high enough where you can use caps on strength to get strong handle, by all means do so. But this is my version, and this is like, you know, I feel like the prime version of this build. And then the 68 speed up ball, as I mentioned, lightning launch on bronze. Can I even get it on Hall of Fame or silver or gold or even legend? Don't ask me about it. It's unfortunate. Bronze speed with ball, when you have like somebody like Ben Simmons, who is a really good slasher, come on, man. It's disrespectful, but it's all that we can get, man. Now for defense, we have a 74 interior, 82 perimeter, 73 steal, and a 74 block rating though. 74 interior defense does give us that post lockdown badge on bronze. And we could be able to get silver paint patroller, but we do not get the caps for it on our block ratings. That's unfortunate. So that's bronze. And then off ball pest being on gold because of our perimeter defense being an 80 plus. So that's the only reason why it's on gold, but we cannot get it upgraded. So all 3 of these badges not able to be upgraded because of caps. I mean, you could get the caps for strength to get to a 78, but you are not able to get the cap for the interior defense. And then paint patroller, you have the rating for silver for interior defense, but you don't have the block. Perimeter defense is completely maxed out, so we're not going to talk about being able to upgrade any of these stats, but we do have silver challenger. We do have bronze removable enforcer. You would need strength. You need 9, you know, attributes in the strength in order to do it, so you cannot do it with caps right now. And then off-ball pest, obviously, as I mentioned, we're not able to get it. On-ball minutes we can't get because we're 6'10". We're not 6'9". And then pick dodger, if you really wanted to, you can probably drop the weight a little bit to try and get that perimeter defense up a little bit. And, you know, so you can reach that 83 threshold, use like a cap on that, and then use 2 caps on agility if you can get those as well to be able to get pick dodger and silver. Completely up to you guys, but I feel like this is just fine enough as it is. Then the steal rating being a 73. And I don't know why the game is, you know, bugging out whenever I'm like moving my stick up and down. I'll just use the D-pads. But the 73 steel, man, let's talk about the 73 steel. You're not able to get glove upgrade. As you can see, we only get to a 76 steel rating, but we do have a 73. So we do have that silver interceptor primed and ready to go. And then glove being on bronze at least, so we can have that. But we're not able to get it on silver. So we're not able to get silver glove, but we do have silver interceptor. I feel like it's pretty good because you're 6'10", you have some length to get into those lanes. Should be easy enough. 74 block rating, man. We talked about it before with the paint patroller. We got that on bronze. But we also have, you know, pogo stick as well, mostly due to our rebounding, which we'll talk more about this in a second, because you can indeed get pogo stick upgraded to silver with rebounding. So we'll talk more on that in a minute. And then high flying denier is on bronze, but we can easily use 4 caps. If we get 4 cap breakers, we can get high flying denier on silver, which would be pretty damn good. And then speaking about the rebounding, as we mentioned before, we have an 80 rebound on our offense and then the 65 rebound on our defense. So we're going to only talk about the offensive rebound. Box out beast on silver, pretty good stuff there. Not able to get that upgraded to gold because of strength. Pogo stick, we can get it upgraded if we use 3 caps on offensive rebound. So that's some cap breaker potential there for you guys. And then rebound chaser on silver, we're not able to upgrade it to gold. As you can see, we can only get it to an 86 on our defensive rebound and 85 on our offensive rebound. So that's some shenanigans there. But yeah, it's just crazy stuff. And for our speed and agility, we don't get slippery off ball because we're not 6'9". It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I know it's unfortunate. We are a wing player that's going to be very dominant at being able to get to the basket and score, you know, off of, you know, driving dunks and driving layups. But hey, we cannot even get slippery off ball, man. But obviously it's fine because we're going to be more ball dominant anyway. And then we have high flying denier on bronze, as we mentioned. We can get it on silver with block caps. Agility, though, we do not get slippery off ball, as we mentioned, and we do not get on ball menace. But we do get pick dodger. So there's that. We have that on bronze. And then we have shifty shooter on silver, which we're able to get upgraded to gold. So that's pretty good stuff there. Strength being a 73, as we mentioned, that's the break point for strong handle, man. But we do have box out beast, which we cannot get upgraded. We have brick wall, which we cannot get upgraded. But that's on bronze at least. Silver physical finisher, which you can upgrade. If you use 2 caps on your strength and use 5 caps on driving layup, then you ultimately can get gold physical finisher, which would be pretty solid. Honestly, would be pretty solid. But we have a lot of other cap breaker potential on this build, so obviously it's really not 100% necessary. We have post powerhouse on bronze with this setup right here. Not able to get upgraded, but obviously if you mess around with the stats and then you upgrade to strength, then you will be able to. And move on forcer, you're not able to right now. Obviously, if you get to like a 77 strength, then you'll be able to if you use all 5 caps. But like I said, there's a lot of cap breaker potential on this build, so it's not really necessary to do all that. So there's that. Post lock, not able to get it because you don't have the interior defense. And then strong handle, not able to get it because obviously of the strength. Vertical, though, being a 75, pretty good stuff here. Pogo stick on bronze, we already talked about it. You can get it upgraded. Posterizer on silver, not really able to get it upgraded because of the driving dunk, because you can only max out at a 91. So there's that. And then rise up on bronze, not really able to get it upgraded, which is fine. But it's bronze at least. Aerial wizard on gold, you can get that upgraded if you use all 5 caps on vertical and then use some caps on driving layup or driving dunk. Either way, you can do it. You can utilize it. And then high flying denier, it's on bronze, but you can upgrade it with the block rating upgrades. So pretty cool stuff here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the shades of Scottie Pippen, then also Paul George, and also Franz Wagner. And here's my Tyrese Halliburton face creation on top of a Ben Simmons build. Weird, right? who cares? But anyway, two-way inside the arc Maestro. I definitely do like the way that this build has come out from the builder and everything. And yeah, so pretty good stuff there. I definitely do like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below for this build. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. We got some more builds coming your way, and obviously we know that the new season is coming up. So obviously we have more Pro Toon builds to take a look at, because obviously I've taken a look at, you know, both D-Wade builds, the old one and the new one before. You know, that was the video, you know, before Tony Kukoc. And then we also have the Gatekeeper, the Jermaine O'Neal that I made the video on as well, the Gatekeeper build. And then I also still got to go through and talk about the Allen Iverson and Kristaps Porzingis builds, because those two guys still have two different Pro Toon builds. So I'll have to go back and make videos on those to compare those two. And then also whatever builds come out in the next season that interest me from the Pro Toons. Maybe there's some more players that get some duplicate builds, or, you know, get their second Pro Toon builds and whatnot. Or who knows, it might be all new players, which will be interesting if they're all new players, because that will be a lot of fun. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button if you are new, bell notification icon as well, so you can get notified of all my uploads. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.